Live from New York, happy 2018. It's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, and happy New Year. It's us, Lady Ada, Mr. Lady Ada, here at the Adafruit factory where we've been for quite a while, and where we will be for another year at least. So we're gonna go on this adventure with you. I hope you join us on this year-long electronic mystery adventure. But just for tonight, we're going to be doing an hour of Ask the Engineer, as we always do every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, for like 10 years we've been doing this.
Yep, we've got an exciting show for you tonight.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
Tonight, the code is bomb cyclone, which is a form of weather. Bad storm, great branding. Bomb cyclone.
Sounds like somebody from like the DC Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Bomb cyclone.
She has a superpower to make cyclones that are the bomb. Okay.
Half shark, half tornado, half bomb, half
10% off a native for Star all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. It supports us, an open source hardware company in New York City. This is us. When you place an order, it supports us. We're loan free, venture capital free. The only way we can keep it that way and keep doing this if you purchase something. But save 10% while you're at it. Show and tell, people around the world showing and sharing their projects. Back to the mailbag, stop by, read your letters. Time travel, look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, engineers, and current news, stuff like that. Some made in New York City factory footage from said factory. Adafruit. Nimbus, friendly cloud entity. Talk a little bit about some IoT. Got some 3D printing, some microbit news, Raspberry Pi news. We got new products. We'll answer your questions in Discord, adafruit.it/Discord.
Go there.
We'll give something away, all that and more on, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer.
Yay!
Okay. Let's pay some bills. So don't forget, bomb cyclone. That's the code. You're watching Ask an Engineer. It's 8 p.m. Wednesday. We just did show and tell. That was 7:30 p.m. Maybe not tomorrow if the weather's bonkers, but same day delivery in New York City. Check out before 11 a.m. Eastern Time if you're in one of the zip codes in New York City. You get your order same day. We have some free stuff.
We still have freebies.
We still have freebies. What do they get, Lady Ada?
Well, for $99 or more, you get a free Pedro half-size breadboard. $150 or more, you get a free Trinket M0. Comes with Circuit Python. You can also run Arduino on it. For $199 or more, you get free UPS ground shipping in the continental US. $250 or more, you get a free Gemma M0, also running Circuit Python. And $299 or more, you get a free Circuit Playground Express, which can run MakeCode if you're a beginner, to Circuit Python for learning Python programming, to Arduino IDE for ultra power, all that and more. And at every level, you get all the items from the previous levels.
That's right.
So stock up.
Yep. And we have some news about shipping. It's kind of big.
Big news.
Yeah, well,
you gave me this
first up,
list.
we have UPS. That's the best way to go. Ground USA, if you're going to place an order, that's the best way to do it. Trackable, reliable shipping. None of that SurePost stuff where it kind of gets handed off to a bunch of carriers.
No, you get it. It's got tracking. You know it. Also.
Postal. This is something we did over the holidays. It's working out. All 50 states.
Postal. Are they goth states?
Well, yeah. I mean, I have this graphic that I have. So all 50 states. And go America. You know, sometimes people think, I'm stuck with this America thing sometimes. But you know what? America's stuck with us. All of us here. So this is our big news. DHL, we now have pretty much more options than ever. So I'm going to read all the places we ship to now with DHL.
Okay.
Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hong Kong, Hungary, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, South Korea, Luxembourg, Malaysia, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Peru, Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, and United Kingdom. That happened today.
So more countries than ever.
Yeah.
We started with just Canada, then added some European countries, and now it's a lot more countries.
Yeah. So
30 countries.
Yeah, and this is the option where it's taxes, import duties that you just sail through. So this allows us to get an order anywhere. We have a mailbag thing that we're going to talk about later, but someone mentioned this. They did Amazon Prime. I think it was in the UK. Our order from the US got to them faster. That's how good DHL is. We've had the highest on-time and success rates with DHL International. That's been working out really well.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you're watching internationally, you got options. Not less options.
More options.
More options. Okay. Show and tell, people around the world showing and sharing their projects, getting back from the holiday, building some projects over the break. Lady Ada, what was on show and tell?
We had a bunch of people in show and tell, starting with from Adafruit peeps. Noah and Pedro talked about this week's project is a slider. If you want to make a mechanical photo slider that also like pan and tilts. This is a pretty hardcore project. It's an upgrade from a previous project. They made it better than ever. Check it out. They also have a video with lots of tips on how to get the most out of your sliding photo video time-lapse project. Scott is working on upgrading his oven, his toaster oven, to become a reflow oven, and he's making a board in KiCad that's going to use a CircuitPython chip so he can like coat up his oven, and he's going to reuse the front panel. So what he's struggling with now is the mechanical engineering of getting the PCB to match the panel, so like he will use all the buttons and the LCD and all that stuff.
I deemed it circuit souffle.
Circuit souffle. Colin has got some big keys.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny because Colin has the largest, most powerful key at his desk.
They're the biggest keys.
He does. You can watch it on the show and tell.
He's got 3 keys.
This joke only makes sense like today.
Yeah. The big keys. Coding Pro got a 3D printer for Christmas, which is awesome. Printed some stuff out, and then added color support. You like with curses or like terminal, like PTY, color, bold, text, underline, blank. Using CircuitPythons. That's pretty cool, actually. It's a nice library. You can add like color and text. So you can have with a printout not just be plain, but actually like colors or like bold it or highlight or like inverse. So that's always kind of nice, like an old TTY terminal. Daniel and Jacob are big Tron fans, and so over the holiday break they made a Tron Wall Art that's powered with a circuit playground and has a hand sensor. When you put your hand on it, it senses your hand, it scans it, and then it transmits you onto the game grid so that you can fight for the user against evil master control.
Yeah, it was cool.
Very cool. Sweet wall art.
Yeah.
Nice work. JMK is back. More news with JMK OS. There's going to be a release soon. I can't wait. JMK also has a watch that uses, I think, the TV screen. It's got like a cool band. It's got some paper tape. It prints out potato, and then it prints out the time. It actually simulates the operating system, which is like really nice. It's like super texty. And then they've also been playing with Circuit Playground Express with Python, so they're going to be maybe releasing some cool new libraries and projects with that. Isaac made a meditation website that automatically opens up when he makes a new tab. Uses the P5 JavaScript library. I guess it's for designers and artists. It's like really relaxing. It's rain and these tones, and it's a super chill. Where was I? Blitz City built a Prusa over the holidays. So that's like, it's like getting a 3D printer, but you have to make it yourself. And she's printing out robots, and she's printing out a solder holder, and she printed out a sponge holder for the sponges we have in the store, but this one has cats on it. So it's way better than most solder sponge holders. Adam, his scan auto microscope was running last night, but he's got some leaks, but he's got some notes, and he's looking through them, and he's going to try to fix it, and then maybe he'll do some more streams. He's got 2 filaments left to go. And then C. Scott is making a voice channel panel for the Crow BX, but this time it's going to have a CircuitPython powered feather, and it does the MIDI and CV stuff in Python. He says it actually worked out pretty well, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
That's what we had. We had a lot of people.
All participants on the show and tell get an as seen on the show and tell sticker or other stuff I said we would send you. Email support@adafruit.com. If you're 13 or under, make sure a parent emails. That's always helpful for us. Okay. Don't forget we're in the Discord chat. We're answering your questions during the chat.
And sometimes even when we're not there.
During the QA.
I mean,
24/7 whenever everyone's there. Okay. So next up, JP is off right now. He'll be back pretty soon. We just released, I think it's what, 2.2?
2.2.
So 2.2, it's dropping.
Okay, 2.2. Updates, there's a couple things that updated. One, boot.out now prints out the version, so it's going to help us with our firmware version management that we're going to add soon. We upgraded a bunch of stuff for Circuit Playground. There's a lot of bug fixes.
Yeah.
Tap and double tap detection for the List 3DH. Trying to think what else got added.
Well, they could go to Discord and see all the things because that's there right now.
Yes, you could print out the list. I feel because the thing I worked on.
It's on GitHub right
I
here,
know
too.
is there. Oh yeah, you want to click on it?
Yeah, look at this. Look at all these things. These
And
are
then
that's
the
the
release
release. Change notes. Look at this. First modules.
Oh, right. The PDM microphone. The microphone got fixed a lot in as well. The intermittent power stuff that was hitting some people is now better. We now have bi-directional SPI. So if you have a device where you have to read and write SPI at the same time, like some of these e-ink displays that we're working on, that's fixed. We also have a little hack for allowing Auto reset whenever by pressing one button, and it's more Arduino ID compatible for reprogramming. Frame buff added to ESP8266. Some new products got supported, and some more libraries. I don't know. Check it out.
Okay.
All good.
And not only do you get all that with CircuitPython, you get the entire community. That's why we say Code Plus community. It's not just code. It's not just hardware. It's all the people.
Yes.
And one of the things I like that Scott and team's doing is as we get features and people contribute, they're thanked right up in the credits. Your name is permanently part of this amazing adventure. Cool.
Unrelated to the release of the firmware, we've also been doing a ton of libraries.
Yeah.
We have, I think the bundle has almost 50 libraries now for sensors. Mr. McWorthy did the APDS 9960, which was a big request. Tony D has been rocking out with libraries from haptic motor controllers to proximity sensors to temperature sensors to DACs to all sorts of devices. The most popular ones that people love to use are now in the bundle. So chances are a sensor that you want, we've already written a library for you. But if we haven't, write one up and we'll add it to the bundle. There's
been no better time. If you ever wanted to get involved, even if you don't code, even if you just want to help with documentation.
Or just testing.
There's testing, pretty much anything. Now's the best time. We're at 2.2.
We have a long way to go. We're already starting to think about 4.0, what's going to be in 4 and 5.
Yeah.
The big, we're going to have.
Are we going to call it CircuitPython X, CircuitPython 10? Who knows? Who knows?
Oh yeah, when we get to 10, well, we'll have to skip 9 so that because nobody ever does version 9. Right?
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving along. One note, because this is right after the holiday, so a lot of people got their Circuit Playgrounds for the holiday, and one of the things you can do is go to makecode.adafruit.com, and this is Microsoft's open source drag and drop Blockly editor that also has JavaScript. Check it out. It is one of the fastest and fun ways to play around with your new board. And you can also, of course, use CircuitPython. And you can also use Arduino.
And more cool stuff's coming to it.
Yeah.
It's not out yet, but we're going to talk about it anyways. Dean spent a lot of this week adding HID keyboard, or the week before the holidays, and also this week adding HID keyboard support. So soon MakeCode will let you program your Circuit Playground to be a keyboard or mouse or joysticks. That'll unlock a lot of fun projects. Yeah.
So check that out. The other thing that you can do is if you're handy with like a terminal, you can download the latest Mu beta, and this is a Python code editor, and when you crank it up, one of the neat things about it is it says, hey, do you have an Adafruit CircuitPython board? Do you have a BBC microbit? Or you just want to use Python 3? So it's a real-time REPL built in, so like you don't have to go to the terminal stuff.
Yeah.
Just like Coding Pro was showing, this is all built in, and then your code's up top, and it's a nice code editor.
Yeah, it's we have binaries for Windows and Mac, and Linux just use a terminal. Yeah. Check out our introductory Python guide for info on how to install it. It's very easy, and what I like is it auto detects your COM port, so you never have to worry about selecting the right. It just knows what it is, and it automatically opens it for you. Very nice.
Oh, we have packages for Windows and Mac.
Yes.
For the Mu editor, we have that.
We do. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You can just download it.
Yes, you can just download it.
Double click?
Yeah, double click.
So you don't even need to be handy with a terminal.
For Linux you do, but for Mac and Windows.
If you're in Linux, you're already handy with the terminal. You're already like, I'm in the kernel.
You're in the kernel.
I'm installing sound drivers. Okay. All right. So let's do the mailbag. This is packet. These are the emails that we read to the entire company every single week. This one came in from Philip with 2 P's in relation to me. This email is to let you know that it's been the most amazing shipping ever. I ordered Amazon Prime Europe the very same moment I ordered from you, and although part of the honor goes to UPS as well, you simply outperformed them by a full day. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, you can always email your nice notes to support@adafruit.com.
Watch out, Bezos, we're coming for you.
Well, I'll say this. Nothing lasts forever. And if Amazon's going to get toppled, imagine if it's a company like Adafruit.
That'd be so sweet.
Good values, open source. Python. All these cool people in the community. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I don't think you have to imagine it, because I think if you look, Adafruit is much bigger than it used to be. We're on our way.
That's right.
This, no matter
We're only getting bigger.
No matter what happens, this right now would be on the way to overtake Amazon.
Happening.
Yeah, I think Jeff's going to leave the planet anyways.
That's true. He's going to get on the board.
He's going to take all the resources off the planet. He's going to be like, I can't
go
ship.
Back to his home.
He's like, I can't ship anything more. I got to go to another planet that doesn't have Prime shipping yet. Okay, so let's keep moving. You can leave us a nice message or just write down this phone number because at the end we'll give something away. It's own bit stab. Okay, time travel. Look back to the world. Hey, makers, hackers, artists, and engineers. This week's time travel is a little different. So on New Year's Eve, we went on a historic walking tour of Lower Manhattan.
It was so cold. It was so cold.
I don't feel cold anymore. I actually stopped feeling a lot of things.
Okay, but it was cold.
for all of you, it was cold.
It was cold.
But it was like 9 degrees, and some friends were in from out of town, and it was a historic walk where they said, here's all the landmarks, here's all the things. And we used to live around the area, but we wanted to do that because always a good time to learn something new.
Old stomping grounds.
Yeah. You know, one neat thing about the Brooklyn Bridge, because that's where it ended, that not a lot of people know, is the person who started the Brooklyn Bridge, the engineer, designer,
Yeah.
died.
Okay.
The son took it over. Cool. Got like crazy type of tetanus, bedridden, couldn't leave. His wife learned all of the mechanical engineering, all the structural things, and her name is Emily, and she's pretty much known as the bridge engineer. And when the Brooklyn Bridge opened, they sent her across with elephants with P.T. Barnum to make sure it was safe.
Yeah.
So she's kind of an honorary engineer. I used to jog over it, but there's a little plaque.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's neat because it was such a long time ago, and people weren't sure how to react to her, but she just knew so much, she did so much. So not a lot of people know that the Brooklyn Bridge wouldn't be here about a very determined woman to learn everything possible about building a bridge and then executing on it. And
There's elephants.
Yeah, and then back in the day, it's
Yeah.
like, well, if elephants
yeah.
elephants can walk across it, then it's okay. But anyways, we ended up on the Brooklyn Bridge at midnight. I have a 360 video, so you can look at it. And afterwards, with our friends, we did a tour around.
Historic tour.
Yeah, so Adafruit, for most of Adafruit history, we were in the shadow of the Trade Center being built. We were in that area. So this is where I took a photo. This is right by Wall Street. Also, every Batman movie is filmed right there.
No, this is where
Bane comes out. Bane comes out and says, "I'll get you, Batman."
Yeah.
But this is where I used to walk at 5 in the morning every single morning, and I used to find postal bins, and they were filled with expensive dog pee and other types of things that were used to inside of something else in there.
Yeah.
And I would take them back, and I would clean them, and that is what I would get ready because then I had to do shipping.
Yeah.
So this is like Adafruit past. Just to give folks an idea, this is the Trade Center now.
Yeah.
And we had to shoot a video about you and about Adafruit when we were just an apartment company. You can see the Trade Center in the background. This is when it started to poke up. Where I used to ship, there was a Wendy's. And one day, you could start to see the floors above it. It was always noisy. You could always hear it.
No, they were construction constantly.
But this was kind of a crummy area. I mean, it was just like everything was just like, it was post 9/11. There was a lot of recovery in the area. Everything was under construction, and we went to 24 John Street, the first kind of Adafruit 1.0, and still to this day, it's not done. It's kind of an interesting story. You can find it on like Curb, but this is first Adafruit right here.
Yeah.
And it was condemned, and we had to leave. Once it was condemned, the restaurant on the ground floor, all the mice decided there's no more food here, so let's explore the rest of the place.
Yeah, it was mouse insanity.
And MOSFET and I had a full-time night job, which was let's just try to like keep the mice back. So some of them got into the fluorescent fixtures, and we'd see a mouse shadow, and MOSFET would alert me. And there were so many mice, I didn't think it made sense to kill them because like it wouldn't end. So I would just like release them.
I mean, toss them out the window.
Well, I'm sure that they would just come back. And
recycle the mice.
Whee! And
the little parachutes, right?
Yeah, they sail like little flying squirrels. No, I'd like catch and release. And that was prime MOSFET. He was in his prime. He was catching. He didn't know how to kill them.
He didn't kill mice. He didn't know how to do that, but he would grab them.
But that was just there was just a couple of us doing Adafruit, and so we went there. We stood there, and this is our story. It was neat to show people that area, and there was a lot of what is gone, and the memories of that area is about what used to be there. We also used to go out if we like had $500 in sales, and we would get like something besides ramen or cup of noodles, and we would go have like food. And then on trash night every month in the Wall Street area, no one moves stuff. They just throw it away and buy new stuff.
You just throw it away.
So I still have my
a lot of desks and chairs.
I still have my trash chair. And so most of Adafruit, and I still have my trash desk. It was like brand new. It was like 24/7 staples after hours.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
And that's Adafruit. It was
Built from trash,
yeah.
made of trash.
Yeah, and I think it just shows like you can kind of make a company anywhere. You can. It just depends. Like, do you want to wake up at 5 in the morning every day? Do you want to go to an area where no one wants to go? Do you want to live in a condemned apartment? So once we got the notice, they're like, you really got to go. We got a green cart from Canal Street. We still have the green cart, and we would load up as much stuff as we could and go, because we got another place a block away, and we'd roll it over, and we moved all of what Adafruit was every single night for weeks. And then we got, this is like Adafruit 2.0, then we got another apartment. And then we were able to grow the company to the point where we could save enough money. And then we came to our new factory location, and we started to get more floors here, and we're still growing.
Yay.
So I did a blog post about this. It was interesting when you look back. A lot of things have changed, but some things haven't. We're still in New York. I'm still made out of trash fines.
Yay.
I was discarded, but no, it's like you could still be yourself, have your values. And we're still around.
Yeah.
It was fun to show people old Adafruit. Okay, so that's my Christmas past
That's
story.
us.
Yeah. Okay.
The ghost of of Adafruit past.
So last week someone asked something, and it was good. And it was like, hey, can you do the top 10 products? So we had top 10 blog posts. We have top 10 learn. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I have to do that. So I have these. I'm going to do these one at a time. Colin did the voiceover, and I've got the top 10 triangles again. And so you're not going to hear what he says, but they will.
No, but I've heard them.
You've heard them.
They're good.
And so when I go to the photo, you can just say
I'm gonna see
what it is, because
okay.
Many of these you know about.
I designed them.
Yeah, many of them you did. Okay, are you ready?
Number 10.
Okay, number 10 is the Trinket M0. Ooh, very popular. I think it's product number 3500.
Number 9. Number 9.
This is the classic Power Boost 1000C. You get about an amp of current out, recharges over USB. It's kind of an all-in-one power pack.
Number 8. Number 8. Number 8.
2821, the Feather Huzzah. This is our Feather with an ESP8266. This is a lovely board.
Number 7. Number 7.
I think that this is for the camera case.
Yeah.
This is the Raspberry Pi camera case that Mike Dole designed. It's injection molded. You snap your Raspberry Pi camera in it, and then you can put it on a tripod, like so.
Number 6. Number 6.
Gemma M0, another popular new product. This is CircuitPython powered with the SAMD 21, but it's like Gemma size. It's so cute and so small, but very powerful.
Number 5. Number 5.
Circuit Playground Classic. So this is the product number 3000. We've had this for a while. It runs Arduino and code.org. Very popular in schools, and it was the predecessor to Circuit Playground Express.
Number 4. Number.
Micro LiPo. It does what it says it does. It just charges your LiPo battery. Super easy. Micro USB in, battery out. Super cheap, super easy. Works like a charm.
Number 3. Number 3.
The Pro Trinket, which probably won't last very much longer if I get these itsy bitsies all done, but this is a popular little small microcontroller, Arduino compatible, and lots of pins, a little bit bigger than the Trinket, but pretty inexpensive.
Number 2. Number 2.
The motor shield for Arduino, this is a perennial favorite. You know, you've got your Arduino compatible. You want to control a bunch of motors. This will let you drive 2-stepper motors or 4 DC motors. And it only uses I2C, so it's like super easy. We've got a good library for it, even with micro-stepping. And it's pretty inexpensive. It's like 20 bucks.
Okay. Well, that was number 2. That means we're up to number 1. Adafruit's top 10 products of all 2017.
What is number 1?
Number 1. Number 1.
Circuit Playground Express. Yay!
Circuit Playground
That's surprising.
Express. Yeah.
We have been using this for a lot of stuff. People love it. It's Circuit Playground Express. Got everything you've ever wanted in a board. We'll be doing even more projects with this in the new year. We're even working on some microphone code right now. So this will be better and bigger and more than ever.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
All
Number
right,
one.
Number one. And that was the Adafruit Top 10 products of 2017. Last week, if you remember, the number one blog post of 2017 was Welcome to CircuitPython Beta. It's kind of a nice bow that just got wrapped up. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the stuff you can do. And then here's all the things that we sold through the year. And Circuit Playground was one of the top sellers.
And there's going to be some exciting new circuit. We're going to make variants of the Circuit Playground Express. So you'll see some some cool stuff coming in this year.
Just getting warmed up.
I can't wait till next year. We should make a prediction pool for what's the top 10 for the rest of the year.
You know, I know exactly what's going to happen forever, and I sometimes
maybe for me then.
Sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it isn't.
Okay. Is this fun?
This is fun because this is all good stuff, right? So that's if you can accurately predict the future, you just have to go where stuff's going to be working out.
Yeah.
Okay. So
great.
yeah. So that was our top 10s. Okay. Open source hardware news. Yay, we're an open source hardware company. Lady Ada, what was on the Learn system this week?
Oh boy, yeah, we had a bunch of guides this week. Give me a little bigger so I can read it. Okay, so yeah, we had the New Year's countdown clock with Circuit Playground Express. So John Park did that just before the New Year, so you can make a little make code project that would tick down the LEDs, 10 LEDs down to 0, and then it would play, that Auld Lang Syne, the New Year song that everyone always sings. And also, if you switch the switch and you blow on it, it'll make that really annoying sound that's like those noisemakers. So it's very useful for all sorts of New Year's purposes. You get a guide for the PM 2.5 air quality sensor we put in the store. Lovely little air quality sensor if you want to do particulate matter sensing. We got code in Arduino and CircuitPython. We oldie but goodie, the VCNL 4010. We actually never wrote a guide for this. So Tony D started off, did a CircuitPython, and I added an Arduino. So if you have the sensor and you've been like, hey, I wish we had a full guide, we have a full guide now. We got the Itsy Bitsy 324. I finally wrapped up that guide yesterday. Sorry for the delay. So you've got a Itsy Bitsy 324 3 volt or 5 volt. Pinouts, diagrams, fritzing, everything, code, bootloader stuff. It's all there. Check that out. Motorized camera slider. This is the upgrade to the motor camera slider that Noah and Pedro worked on this week. So making it even better. More tips, more tricks, more everything. Trevor, who is our local iOS developer, wrote a guide on how to make a small program that all it does is take sensor data and streams it to Adafruit.io. This is a good example of how to both read sensor data from your phone using iOS, but also how to stream data to Adafruit.io from your own custom app. So if you're writing an app, this might be very handy for you. Yeah. We also have a special guide. Over the New Year's, I had some time to write this CircuitPython 2-factor time-based one-time password generator. So I use Authy and Google Authenticator to log into all my accounts, and I don't have a phone, and I kept bugging you for codes. I was like, hey, give me a code, give me a code, give me a code, give me a code, and it's like this. He's like, I don't want to give you a code. I'm busy.
True.
No, I'm just kidding. He always gives me a code, but I feel bad. So sometimes I have a tablet, but not always. I don't always have my tablet with me. This is a little dongle. All it does is it goes onto the internet, gets the exact time from an NTP server, and then it will calculate your 6-digit or 8-digit hashes and generate those keys for you so you can log in, and every 30 seconds it generates a new set. Yeah. So when I log in, I use my username and password, and then I put in this 2-factor code so that it's harder to hack my accounts. So that's good. So check out that guide. It's all written in CircuitPython. I got on some practice using shock codes and hashing and time generation, so I think it's a good CircuitPython project.
Okay. Next up. So this is still sort of part of time travel, and also, I guess, open source hardware. So SparkFun had a great post today. This is the original logo, and they're celebrating 15 years, and it's a history of the last 15 years.
It's some good advice in there.
Yeah, good advice. This was from Nate, the founder, former CEO, now running SparkX, and I tried to look at my first post on Make. I thought it was 2002, but I can't, one of the things that's hard with blog sites, so I have like, I don't know, 30 or 40, 60,000 posts on Make. So it's hard to find the first time you post on something. And then I know I wrote about it on Hackaday. I was just trying to figure out, like, when was the first time I'm like, hey, here's the thing.
I think I ordered my first time in 2004. I ordered some modems and a GPS unit, which was like really cool because you couldn't get these little modem units anywhere else.
Yeah.
And they had them. You just plug in a phone line and you could actually, it was like a modem, but it was a little module. So
it's a whole history. I look at it different pieces because there's a technology piece. It's like what things were the open source companies working on. I look back when I was writing about it, I used to do a Friday wrap-up of new products on the Make site about SparkFun, and then some of the business stuff. They bought a building that you could see the different times they moved places, and then some of the structural changes with CEOs and founders and how that works. So that's interesting to me. So this is a neat post. Like, it's a history of.
I think it's, you know, it's interesting. Like we had a period of time where there were a bunch of companies that started about, you know, 15, started with SparkFun, which was the first company.
Yeah, I used to do the presentation, $1 Million Baby, open source companies that are reaching $1 million.
But, you know, there was a bit, you know, I felt like, you know, there were a lot. So, like, you know, we started the company, you know, I started the company 3 years later.
Yeah.
There was others like NKC and, you know, Palolu's been around for a little bit. And I felt like, okay, wow, there's so many. Will it increase? But actually kind of leveled off. There's not a lot of new maker electronic companies.
It's different. It's single serving product companies.
Yeah, they make one or two things and they sell on Tindy, maybe their own
I'll
store.
say this. I don't think most people want to have 3,000 products. I think they're like, I'm going to just sell one thing. I'll do a Kickstarter. I'll get VC. I'll just make I'll be a one product company at the most.
Yeah.
And if it's a hobby endeavor, now there's Tindy and there's other things you can do. SparkFun was, up until recently, there was bigger than us. They always had more people, more equipment. So it was neat to watch this story. And, you know, we've always kind of, it's like skateboarding. We're always kind of watching each other like, that's a cool trick. That's a neat thing. And really good history. Like, this is cool. We'll probably do a 15-year post when we're up to 15 years.
Yeah.
Got a few more years to go.
Yeah, 2020 is when it happens.
Yep.
Technically, I started the company January 2015.
Technically. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I put down on the registration.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably a few months later.
Factory footage. Let's play some videos. Okay, and then we have some factory footage around Adafruit, and it doesn't really have as much sound.
Cleaning out the ponds of molten metal in the selector solder machine.
Yep. You can see all the different things we got to do with our selective solder machine pretty frequently. It's pretty. I like that there's a weekly thing we do where you can see how some of this stuff is made.
Yeah.
I think people would be willing to appreciate electronics a little bit more if they saw all the stuff that goes into it. It's hard, it's a science, it's precise, and it's also messy sometimes. Here's a cool one. This is a slow motion of the... Yeah. This is the selective solder head, and that's how it, boop, tips it. Then we've got the camera slider. And this is just showing the camera slider right before we use it in front of the pick and place machines. So this is the time lapse. And this is us making electronics in the USA.
Neat.
And as always, we end our factory footage segment with a sunrise or sunset outside the Adafruit windows.
So pretty.
Okay, a little reminder. This is Nimbus, the friendly cloud entity. We like your data as much as you. That's why you can always do whatever you want with it.
Right.
Yeah, we have Adafruit IO, and we just opened up Plus. So if you're really interested in IO and doing cool things with IoT, knobs, turning on stuff, you talked about that learning guide that we had. We have Plus, and what Plus allows us to do is turn this into a sustainable business. So if you want to do IoT, it's $9. If you're using it for free, feel guilty once in a while and maybe just like, it's $9. And we don't want to end up being a software as a service company that's like our beautiful sunset. I'm going to spend more time with my family.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we provide the freemium version, and if you use it and you like it, it's $9. So
You get more.
yeah.
I mean, we'll always have a free version, but
Yeah, we'll always do
your
it.
support helps us.
Yep. Okay. Next up, 3D printing. Noah and Pedro have a few videos. We're catching up. The first one is the slider video that
Lots of tips and tricks.
they talked about on the show and tell. Mm-hmm. And today on their show. So here we go.
Recently, we've been capturing a lot of motion time-lapse videos. This is where the camera pans and slides across a scene to create seamless fluid motion. We think this effect can work really well with project build videos. This is our project update for the Motorized camera slider. It's a Bluetooth-controlled camera system that we use for making motion time-lapse video. A timing belt is fixed between a stepper motor and bearing idler pulley. When the stepper motor turns, it pulls on the timing belt, thus pushing the camera platform across the rail. The camera slides across slowly in tiny segments and takes a picture about every second. The motor is triggered through the Bluefruit app, where modes can be set for the timing and direction of the motor. All of the components are held together with hardware and 3D printed mounts that we designed. It's still lightweight and portable, so we can lug it around and use it outdoors. We can mount it to a tripod so we can shoot from higher angles and get more coverage. The electronics are based off the Adafruit Metro, along with a motor shield to drive a single stepper motor. A Bluetooth module allows the stepper motor to be controlled with the smartphone or tablet using the Bluefruit app. The code and design files for this project are free to download. You can follow our step-by-step tutorial on the Adafruit Learning System. This is an open source project that you can remix, build, and even contribute. You can also support an awesome open source hardware company like Adafruit by purchasing products from their online shop. This linear railing system uses ball bearings for creating smooth motion. It's designed for CNC projects, and it's machined out of high quality materials. I use this Syrup Genie Mini for creating panning motion. This little device can rotate a full 360 and is also Bluetooth controlled. It's got an internal motor that can create really smooth panning motion. It's designed to sit between your camera and tripod, and combined with the slider, it can make for really awesome motion time-lapse video. I like to use an additional mini ball head mount for better angle adjustments. And for the camera, I like to use the GoPro Hero for wide angle shots and an iPhone for everything else. I like to use the camera lenses from the Moment company. These lenses are made from high quality glass and make the image look really good. For mounting, they use a dedicated case, which are designed for a variety of different phones. To maintain perfect alignment, they twist and lock onto the case so there's no lens distortion. My tripod features a fluid head, which can do both tilting and panning, but it also has the flexibility of a swivel ball head. A quick release plate allows the camera to be easily removed from the head of the tripod. These are secured to a 3D printed plate and mounted to the bottom of the slider assembly. I like to use 2 tripods for mounting to both ends of the slider, which provides really good stability. However, this can create the seesaw effect, which will make it rock back and forth, so we just have to make sure the legs of the tripod are properly adjusted, and once leveled, you can tighten everything to lock it into place. For lighting, we use LED panels mounted to C-stands. We like to bounce light off the ceiling to soften the shadows and highlights. When framing up a shot, we tend to level the tripod head after every adjustment, basically planning where the camera is going to start and stop. We tend to preview the motion through the camera several times before actually recording anything. It's difficult to keep an object in the center of the frame, so we find it necessary to make small adjustments and slide back and forth. Depending on the shot, the degrees of rotation will vary with the distance of the object. It can be a little challenging to line up the panning motion with the slider, so it just takes some practice. The recent GoPro cameras feature a time-lapse video mode, which makes it really easy to capture and record. Smartphones have a similar feature. Just remember to lock the exposure to keep your lighting consistent. Managing both the panning device and the slider through their own apps is a bit of a switching back and forth, so it's definitely a process. But I think using motion time lapses in your project videos can be a nice way to show your build process. It can give more interest to an otherwise repetitive task and show more of the space around a subject. So investing a bit more time and effort into capturing your builds can make for a more immersive experience. So we've been shooting a lot of our recent work with this system, and I hope this inspires makers alike to experiment with motion time-lapse video.
Okay, and don't forget to join Pedro every Wednesday on 3D Hangouts. We have a couple time lapses, and here we go.
Penguins?
This is my favorite Alice in Chains song, Cat in a Box. Okay. I'm a cat in a box.
Meow, meow.
Yeah, that's the original lyrics. It was changed later.
The
producers, yeah.
My
Yeah, that's what cats do.
Yeah, they do.
I still feel stuff. Eat MOSFET. I have a heating pad, and
he always steals my turkey sandwiches.
Remember the time he jumped up and he ate my food? And I was so hungry, I'm just like, and he was like scooping the soup out with his paw, and I just ate it.
Wow, that's horrible.
And I felt like I was like him and I were like these garbage raccoons, and we're just like, ah. Anyways, I was hungry.
Anyways, here's this time lapse.
Yeah. That's our show for tonight, folks. No, just kidding.
That's
Okay, I have some Microbit news because it was Microbit Monday, but Monday was a holiday. This is kind of big news.
Okay.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
There's a new CEO of Microbit.
That's right.
I believe his name's Gareth. Before it was Zach, and we had talked to Zach, and they moved the CEO position to the UK, BBC.
And he's going to California.
Yeah. Zach's going back to ARM, and he's doing IoT stuff. Kind of big news. Like, I have to follow this stuff.
Microbit's
Like,
IoT
who's doing
is
what?
probably going to be still doing stuff.
Yeah. I followed this, and like, who's the leader of a certain thing?
Yeah.
So, Microbit, millions of units out there. Be interesting to see what they're doing in 2018. I did see they have a wearables pack. I have to figure out if we can stock that or not. Did you see it was like a little wearable thing? Did you see that?
The wristwatch?
Yeah, I think they have a pack now.
Yeah, I have to look at it
out.
too.
Anyways, so that's up. Next up, if you like Raspberry Pi and you like education and you like educating people, there's an open call for authors for Hello World. This is one of my favorite magazines, along with MacPi, along with Hackspace. And I'll say this, just while we're on the topic of magazines. Hug Report, shout out to Hep.
Hep Kitten.
Hep is, I assume, running the Make Twitter account now.
She is now.
Open call. They're looking for makers of all backgrounds, all skill sets, all sorts of inclusivity and diversity. They're talking about assistive technology projects. You name it, they're doing it. This is the Make I always wanted to see. After Hep is the one who came out here and took the photo of you. So whatever's going on right now at Make, and if you see Hep or if you see, go find the tweet on Make and like it and share it, whatever you do with Twitter now. I think you can use it for good things, right?
Yeah.
I think Twitter can be used for good.
She's a force of good.
Anyways, so on the raspberrypi.org site, you can go and write for Hello World magazine. If you're an educator and you want to write about your education story, how you're teaching young people.
And it doesn't have to be about Raspberry Pi. It can be anything.
Of course not. Yeah, it's just about teaching. Probably like computer science stuff. But, you know.
STEAM or STEM.
Yeah, it's a cool magazine. Okay, Lady Ada, it's almost that time.
Oh, boy.
Before we do new products, Bomb Cyclone. That's the code. Use it. It supports us. All these nice folks.
Okay.
Want to do this? Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
New. Oh, no. My thing just fell. Hold
All right.
on. Wait, we have to pause.
Yeah, Lady Ada's going to get her demo.
My demo fell off the table.
This is
Doomed.
this is airtime for me.
Sorry about that.
Here's our #1 product of the year. Memories. That was fun.
Do you want to redo that? Do you want to go back and
No.
we can start over so we have a clean...
Yeah, I'll clean up and post. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Yeah, ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's do this again.
New.
It's a new over.
New
Okay,
over.
first up.
Okay, we got this Chibi Clip. It's the plastic clip that goes with your Chibi chip that makes it possible to clip it onto paper. You got a demo here, and I can also show it on the overhead.
Yeah.
The Chibi chip is that blue board, and then the Chibi Clip is the pink, the orangish plastic thing that it clips into, and then I'll show how it works. It's kind of neat.
Focus.
Hold on, focus in, yeah. So this is the circuit board, and you can program this over audio using MakeCode or your phone or whatever. We just have a demo that has it basically pulsing each of these pads. These are connection pads. And then it goes into this clip, and you see that the flexible PCB part curves over, and there's like this little kind of rubbery gripper part. And then if you make a circuit, like for example, Jelly made this cool circuit
cool.
with LEDs that are pasted in, they're little sticker LEDs, and this is copper tape. If you take this and you line it up, hold on, I got this. There you go. So as it blinks here, these will match up because it makes these, you know, it actually pulses the LED, the pin next to the LED high and low. So you can make like interactive paper art. And what's neat is that like this stuff is inexpensive, just the copper tape and these stickers, but then you can take this clip and remove it and re-add it later. So you can make your art and then make it electronic later. You don't need to have the clip with the chip, but I think like the best way to use it is with it. So this looks, I think, pretty sweet. and allows you to make really nifty conductive art projects. You can use copper tape, but I think you can probably also use any other conductive materials as long as you know, it's less thick than these flexible pads here.
Okay.
You can see.
Next up. Now, you know, when stuff happens in the news and then we have a new product, these are the biggest, most powerful buttons. You can install this on your desk and it could send a nice message to someone.
These are lovely buttons.
These are nice buttons.
These are friendly buttons.
These are the biggest, most powerful buttons that work.
They're just buttons. So this is, we had, these are not actually not that big. They're kind of small, but they're little arcade buttons.
I know.
And they have an LED in them. Focus. Okay, so these are arcade buttons, and then these are the switch part, and then there's an LED, and I'm just showing you can pulse the LED on and off. It's connected here to a trinket that's just doing the PWM. And when you, when you don't short it out by accident, when you want to add a fun arcade button, it's not too big. It's kind of smaller than most. It's 24 millimeters. It comes with a little screw part that I removed here, but you can attach it to like pretty thick material, wood, plastic, metal, and then you can have the LED light up when you press the button or not at all. But they're pretty inexpensive and really nice looking, and it's very nice and diffused. There's 2 LEDs inside. Just power it with 3 to 5 volts, and you got a little arcade button. So now available in green.
Okay. Green is for good.
Green is for good.
Sometimes the color of peace. Okay. Next up.
Got these cool nth lights. These are flexible. These are very interesting. So these LED strips are like flexible laminated material, and they have like deposits of micro LED chips inside of them.
What?
Yeah, they're really. This is pretty cool. So it's not super cheap, I will admit. It's you know, not the least expensive LED, but it is fully.
It sounds so
printed.
Interesting. It can't be cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So it's printed onto this laminate, and we got this. It has a checkerboard pattern.
And you can move it around.
It's super skinny, which is one really nice thing. So it's thinner than almost anything else because it's like basically laminated plastic. And then there's, you can see the copper tape.
Yeah.
That's your positive and negative. So here I just have it connected to power and ground. You can give it 12 volts. You can cut it. So this has like 3 pieces. So like this section is 1 piece, and then there's a little bit of a gap. You can see you can cut these pieces. You know, you can buy them from the company in rolls, but we decided, okay, you just get about like a, you know, about a foot worth. One thing that's kind of hard to tell, just because these are so bright, there you go. They're not like perfectly uniform. So it doesn't let you get a perfect square of light. Instead, you get these little micro dots. So if you want to have like an even light, you would diffuse it. When you're really close by, you can see that these are like speckled with LEDs. They're not fully even squares. So it's something to watch for, but other than that, it's still like the least expensive way to get ultra skinny LEDs like this.
This is going to be like the light up bookmark in like the next season of Black Mirror, and it's going to be this like book that you turn into the book, and then you're in the bookmark, and then in the end, it's really you.
Like it's a human.
It's really you, but it's not you. It's a copy of you trapped inside of you, but you're in the bookmark.
Anyways, like that, but it's just an LED strip. So it's kind of neat. You know, it's fully flexible. I wouldn't like bend or crack it, but you know, you have a lot more
this is cool.
Flexibility with it. I think it would be good for costumes.
Wearables.
I think, yeah, for wearables, where normally we'd use, you know, EL tape. If you can use this instead and diffuse it a little bit, I think, you know, this is a really nice white color. Like,
I like this better. I like this better than EL tape and panels. I don't know why I do. Maybe I got tired of EL panels.
Well, they're kind of bluish, and
you have to have the inverter.
You have to have the inverter.
Oh, I know. I actually remember why. Because I used to answer every customer support email, and they're like, "There's something wrong with my EL panel." It goes, "Ee." It's like they all inverters do that. This makes no sound.
No, it's just
except
LED.
for Glee.
It's Glee. It's cool to attach, but yeah, it's just super skinny, flexible. So people like this will get more variants.
Here, see if you can. I'll zoom in. Well, no, you zoom. You hit the zoom. Let's see if we can make the camera go in. Yeah, we got that going.
You can kind of see it. So yeah, you can see like here.
Yeah.
There's like, you know, there's a couple dozen micro LEDs.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's not purely even, but it's still from far away. Like you can't really tell.
Okay.
So that's the nth light.
Last but not least, the star of the show tonight.
Oh wait, can you just show this off? Off, because I actually didn't do that. So it looks like this off.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can see the yellow phosphor.
That's cool.
Anyways.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Back to business. The star of the show tonight, besides you, Lady Ada, and the community, and all the team who helps make this happen, is this.
We have ESP266, sorry, the ESP32 Feather, which we've already had, but now we have it with stacking headers, like so, already soldered in, so you are ready to rock the moment you get it. You don't have to do any soldering, just plug into a breadboard and go. And with plain headers, wow! So both types are now available in the store.
Get
So
this.
that's what we already stock.
Already got this.
But maybe you're like, I don't want to solder.
You've had this. You got it.
Instead, you want it to come with the headers already installed.
And you can have them like that, or like that.
This.
Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I like that.
One or the
Sometimes
other.
I just want that.
Well, we have those too.
But then sometimes I'm like, maybe this.
Yeah, this one.
Maybe that.
That one.
Okay, with that, Lady Ada's new products. We're
Yeah.
done. Good work.
Oh, we have to do the recap.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
New products.
Okay, recap time. Chibi Clip goes with your Chibi chip and lets you clip your Chibi onto paper electronics like this demonstration with some copper tape and LED stickers, so it's recyclable.
Big, powerful buttons that work.
Well, it's not that big. It's only 24 millimeters. It's pretty small, but it's a lovely little arcade button with green LEDs in it. It's a switch and an LED, both.
Okay.
Enflight makes these really cool laminated LEDs with micro LEDs in them. So it's like an LED strip, but you know, instead of having EL panel or having kind of thick, bumpy NeoPixel strips, it's perfectly flat and very flexible. So good for maybe wearables, cosplay, decorations.
Okay, we've had this, but now we got this.
We have the ESP32 Feather already, but now we also have it with stacking headers pre-soldered on for your Feather enjoyment. We also have, of course, the version with plain headers on it, so you want to plug into a breadboard and you don't want to stack anything on top. This one is even more compact.
And that is new products. Good work, Lady Ada.
Yay!
Okay. Don't forget this stuff. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to help this cool company called Adafruit, but I want to save 10%.
All those things.
Bomb Cyclone, 10% off. Up to 11:59 p.m. or if or later if I fall asleep. Okay, let's take some questions. You know where you go for the questions though.
Discord.
Right? That's the only place you gotta go. That's it.
Go here.
And I'll say this. I did something while you weren't at your desk here.
What?
I showed leaks, a couple things.
What'd you leak?
In Discord.
What did you leak?
A picture of the circuit playground thing, of the case that we're working on.
Oh, yeah.
I just tossed it in there.
Oh,
so you're
man.
missing out if you're not posting your questions in Discord.
It's so leaky.
Okay. Ready. W Room versus W Rover on ESP32. Do you have an opinion?
Whichever it has is what it has. I don't have the other one. We have, I think, a dev board for it, but it's much bigger and it wouldn't really fit, and not a lot of people have demanded it yet, so whatever it is that's on there, I can't keep track of which one is which.
Okay, this one is, you ever checked out the Easy VR voice recognition shield for Arduino? I purchased it from SparkFun, but the Google Translate instructions didn't work out.
Yeah, those things don't work really well. We've had a discussion with Google Engineer here. You know, voice recognition is almost impossible to do on these small chips, so you really do need to have a lot of processing power. That's why we don't have any voice recognition stuff in the store other than the Google AI kit, which, you know, uses the cloud to do audio recognition. It's quite hard.
Yep, Adam wanted to check out the Nth panels under the SEM. Yeah, email me PT at and I'll set you up with a free order.
Yeah.
Adam, okay, next up, this is from Danny. The Feather Huzzah Huzzah or ESP32, if I want to get really low power, is there a way to power the board so the USB serial and the voltage regulator are bypassed?
I think we're doing a revision soon with the ESP266 to get the voltage regulator so it's not shared with the main chip, but the ESP32 will definitely be able to get you much lower power, and I think we don't share the regulator on that, so check that out.
Okay. Someone's completely new to building anything. Can they learn everything before they build anything? The answer is no, because you actually have to build stuff to learn stuff. You have to break stuff,
Yeah.
and the trick now is you don't have to spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars back in the day you used to for any type of electronics. You can spend 20 bucks and start learning some electronics right away. You can also start with taking apart stuff that you don't want anymore and just looking at it.
But you do have to do something.
Yeah, I'd
you don't
say
learn by using your hands.
you can get Circuit Playground Express. It's like a little over 20 bucks. You're not going to break it. And you're going to learn code. You're going to learn electronics. And you got this entire community, which you just posted your question in, to help you along.
That's right.
So that's what I would say, because like at some point you can always get back money, you can always spend money, you can always get it back, but you'll never get back time.
You can't earn time.
The time only goes one way in this universe.
Yeah.
So I would say, like,
As far as we know.
maximize your time.
Yeah.
And build something and break something. It's okay. We give away like Sparky pins if someone messes up something, because I think some of the projects out there are intimidating. It's like, oh my gosh, someone spent like 5 years building this like glowing orb. Well, you don't have to do that. You can make a little glowing orb.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up. Oh, will we ever see Adafruit workshops? I'll tell you why we're probably not going to do Adafruit branded workshops, because basically they'll want just people from Adafruit, and we're better focusing on our products, our community and things, and scaling that the best we can. What we'll do is we'll empower people to use our stuff at the workshops they want to do.
Well, my guides and tutorials are used in workshops, so I'd rather do projects than people can do in workshops, because a really good written guide lasts a lot longer.
Yeah.
If I was in a workshop, I'd only be teaching 20 people, but when I write a good guide, it can
even
teach
if we
hundreds.
streamed it, it'd be a little tough. And I've watched companies try to do workshops, and it's a slog. They have to fly everywhere. They have to get people to fly there. So we decided to do a lot of online guides, a lot of keep our costs reasonable for everything, so people can afford stuff. And then people who have workshops, they can become a reseller and use our stuff, and all the documentation is ready to go because they have our learning system. So that's probably how we're going to roll. We're always open to stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to probably be. Okay. Next up. I dropped and stepped on my Circuit Playground. Espresso works perfectly fine. And for the record, I'm not a very small person. Okay, cool.
Great.
It passed the test.
The squish test.
Yeah. Question: can you recommend any battery level sensors?
No, I don't actually have any that we stock, so I can't recommend any. I've never used any before, but maybe this year I'll find one.
Okay. Someone said they sent a CPX, Circuit Playground Express, to a friend who's a principal of an elementary school, and they're going to get more of them for their STEM classes. Thank
Yay.
you. Okay. Next up, we do educational discounts, that's correct.
Yeah.
And yes, there are Adafruit evangelists. Thank you for spreading the word out there.
Thank you.
Because there is a ratio you could do. You could spend all your money on marketing, which is you should not do.
Yeah.
In fact, if you were to look at all the pillars of a company and how much you spend and how much you make, marketing should be the smallest amount.
Really?
Yeah.
Definitely below people and goods.
Yeah. You should. The cost of goods is gonna, when you sell physical things, your team, probably shipping, probably a couple other things. But if you make really good products and focus on the products and the people, you probably don't need to do a lot of marketing. In fact, the good content you make is the advertising. So the people who say, this is really good, I want to tell someone about it, is worth way more than a crummy ad on a website. Just saying. And the numbers speak for themselves, because that's one of the things that we thought about a lot. Tried a lot of experiments, looked at the data. I posted up today. I have, because I'm paralyzed at night or thriving in pain, so I have all these screens that go around me, and I have AdWords, I have Google Analytics, I have one iPad that was watching Black Mirror, I've got Kindle on one, and then I have spreadsheets, I have pages, I have a bunch of things, and if you just look at numbers, the ratio that you spend, you can put more of it in people and content.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It works out. You just have to have good people and good content and good products.
It's easy to spend money on marketing.
It's easy to lie to people and say they need this thing to fill that empty hole in their soul, but they don't. They just have to connect with others.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Like a community.
Yeah.
Like the CircuitPython.
Okay. I would like to see the micro USB connectors you use at the store. They're hard to find.
We have a breakout board with them. It's popular. You can use that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, maker spaces can be resellers. I'm making a Raspberry Pi 3 tablet or phone without cellular. What is the best power boost or charger plus battery to put in it?
You can try the Power Boost 1000C. That should be able to power it, especially without cellular. I think it would be okay.
Okay. What's the difference between STEM and STEAM? Nothing. In fact, it's something that people are trying to use to divide each other. Who cares? It's STEM. There's art involved. It's STEAM. There's art involved. Like, if we get hung up on these minor things, we're never going to come together. Because I've actually seen like online arguments about it. It doesn't matter. Like, yay, STEM, STEAM, STEAM, STEM. If you see someone who has STEM in it, like, cool. Like, art is part of. This is one of the problems. All the things in STEM, it's an art. There's no such thing as like pure. Like, robots aren't doing anything. And even if you make a robot, there's art involved. You have to. So, like, whatever. STEM is like what everyone's calling it. If you want to call it STEAM, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Can a Raspberry Pi be used to run a B setup? BE setup? Like for bees?
Bees.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, makerspaces,
I
yes,
like
they can be
bees.
distributors. Let's see. Okay, last plug. One of the office thanks to my intro. Spent $500 on a learning budget for Adafruit gear over the last few days. Thank you.
Yay.
Wow. Okay. Does anyone here have any suggestions on what they started building as a beginner? Okay, the chat will take care of that.
Yeah.
Next thing. Oh, someone said starter kit. Arduino starter kit is a good one. I live in San Diego. There's a retail distributor near me. Maybe if there's a micro center, but also just look at our distributor map.
There's a micro center in San Diego. Yeah.
I think there is. And even if there isn't, Radio Shack's will probably be opening up eventually. Again. And also you can just order from us and it'll get there pretty soon. Okay. I think that's it. That's it. Those are all the questions.
Okay, great.
All right. Yay.
Yay, we did them.
Don't forget, the questions are answered. We see you 24/7. All right. Let's do, what do you want to give away, Lady Ada?
I thought I'd give away one of these Nth light
Wow, that's
lights.
a nice prize.
Because they're kind of cool.
Okay, what are the rules?
Rules are, if you've won anything before from the show, you can't win again. Only one winner per my lifetime. The first person to call the phone, when we put the phone number up, and I answer the phone, and I ask you your name, where you're calling from, and a project you're working on or you want to work on, will be the winner. And I'll send you out an Nth light.
Okay, you say once per your lifetime. What if I were to digitize your entire conscious, exactly you, and put it in the cloud? Are you still alive?
We'll deal with that when that happens.
Can they still win though?
I don't know. We'll deal with when that happens.
All right.
It's a trick question.
The phone lines
You're gonna digitize me tonight.
are open.
Stop digitizing things.
Just asking.
Stop uploading consciousnesses to AIs.
Asking for a friend.
All right, call this number,
Yeah.
and I'm going to ask you some questions. We'll send you some free stuff.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Ooh, that worked out pretty fast.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello,
This is Ask an Engineer. Yes. Okay, good. You actually answered the phone. Didn't hang up on me.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. What's your name and where are you calling from?
my name is Kent, and I'm calling from Boston.
Wow, Kent's calling from Boston. That's pretty sweet. That's my hometown.
It's wicked cold there right now.
It is wicked cold there. It's always wicked cold there. Anyways.
Yeah.
Lemore's from Boston, so I can say that.
You can, yeah, you can
wicked.
make fun of Boston accents.
I'm not making fun of it.
Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so what's the project you're working on or you want to work on?
I'm actually currently working on two projects, one of which I bought some motion sensors from your store, and I'm trying to make an occupied light for my office. We have a couple of call rooms, meeting rooms that no one knows if they're being used or not. So I bought some stuff off your website, and yeah, I'm trying to implement that. The other thing is I have a Raspberry Pi that I'm trying to start a smart home with.
Ooh, all right. Well, these are cool projects. These are good projects to work on when it's really cold out, so you can just stay inside and work on them. Kent, we're going to send you out a free light. It's product number 3683. Can you read
The light thing?
Yeah, because I can't read this.
3683.
3683. So all you have to do is email support@adafruit.com and say, hey, it's Kent from Boston. Send me out a 3683, and we'll send you out one of these really cool lights. Could be useful for one of your projects, maybe a smart
For a smart
light.
home, yeah, could turn on
Smart home,
lights.
you turn on some lights.
Underlighting in the kitchen, everyone wants
Ooh,
that.
everyone loves underlighting
Yeah.
for your nice kitchen.
Absolutely.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Kent, thank you so much for calling. Have a lovely night. Have a lovely new year.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, go to Toski's for me because I really miss it.
Okay.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Okay.
Good hot chocolate.
Yeah. We went there. You took me there. Right?
Yeah,
That was tasty.
I go every time.
Okay. We also go to that Chinese food place that you like.
It's also good.
Yeah. Okay.
Get Swan La Chow Chow, Dunda noodles.
Dunda noodles I've had every time we were there.
Yeah, but I've never found another place that has them better.
Yeah.
They're
it's true.
good.
Okay. Little reminder.
Bomb cyclone.
Bomb cyclone.
It's coming for ya.
Scaring everyone everywhere with a weather report. Bomb cyclone. Bad storm. Good branding. Okay. So that's it for tonight.
Okay.
We'll be here next week. Take good care of each other, everyone. Thank you all the Adafruit community members, all the Adafruit team members
Happy
here
New
and
Year.
remote. Thanks for getting us through 2017.
We're still alive.
Let's make 2018 really good. What if we all... So there's New Year's resolutions.
Stop uploading my consciousness to computers.
It was just an idea.
Maybe He's uploading my consciousness.
It's just an idea. You know, when the few times I'm not around you, I think you're around, so there is a version of you in my head constantly.
Yeah.
I can't escape.
Well, maybe you did upload my consciousness.
And yeah, there's a virtual Lady Ada in my head. Every time I think I might do something bad, I'm just like, well, I really wouldn't want to disappoint L'Amour.
Wait, that's not true. You do them anyways.
That's not true.
Sometimes you're like, ooh, she'd be really impressed by how bad this is.
No.
So bad.
No. Like, okay, the time I put MOSFET in that sock and it was super cute and he looked like a dune worm, I didn't ask you. I just did it.
Okay, so how does this work then?
Well, I knew the Lady Ada was like, I don't know, but it's kind of cute. Which is exactly the reaction you had. You're like,
I guess
they're
so.
like, I don't think he
I can be easily
likes that
convinced.
so much, but and pick up Tube Cat.
It is fun to pick up a tube cat.
All right. Okay. Thanks, everyone. We'll see everybody next week. Don't forget, here's the code. Here's a picture of MOSFET the cat. And here's your moment of Zener.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Happy New Year.